After my husband's betrayal, I took the opportunity to give her a taste of her own medicine. I thought I had everything figured out. My marriage had been my life, and I trusted my husband completely until I found out the unthinkable. My own stepsister Karen was having an affair with him. The shock of it left me in disbelief, but the reality hit me hard. My husband, the man I had loved, had betrayed me. And not just that, but Karen, someone I considered family, had knowingly been a part of it. The hurt was deep, and I spent months trying to make sense of everything. Then came the final blow. Karen and my husband were getting married. The audacity of it all was beyond anything I could have imagined. They wanted me to pretend like everything was fine, to act like I could just accept their relationship. But I couldn't. The thought of standing there at their wedding, pretending to be happy for them, was unbearable. But then I got an idea. The more I thought about it, the more the idea seemed like the perfect way to reclaim some power over the situation. If they could flaunt their happiness in my face, I could show them exactly how much they had hurt me. It was petty, but I was angry, and I was done playing nice. I started planning, and my revenge took shape. I would go to their engagement party, but not alone. I would bring someone who could make Karen's world shatter in a way that would never be forgotten. I reached out to Ron, Karen's ex-boyfriend from college. She had never really gotten over him, and everyone knew he was the one she truly loved. The breakup between them had been messy, and Karen even had a tattoo of his name as a reminder of what they had. I explained everything to Ron, how Karen had stolen my husband and was now marrying him. I told him that I needed him to come with me, that it was my way of getting back at Karen for what she'd done to me. To my surprise, Ron agreed. We made plans. On the day of the wedding, I walked in with Ron by my side. I had dressed in a way that made me feel confident and strong. But as soon as Jerry saw us, I could see his eyes widen in shock. I didn't care. Karen wasn't going to get away with pretending like nothing had happened, and she wasn't going to have the upper hand at her wedding. Karen walked down the aisle, beaming in her wedding dress. But when she saw Ron standing next to me, her face fell. She froze, unable to hide her shock. It was like I had shattered her perfect little world. The guests watched in stunned silence as the tension in the room built. Karen stormed toward us, furious. "What the hell is this?" She spat, her voice filled with venom. I calmly introduced Ron, reminding her of the past they shared. "This is my +1, I said. "Meet Ron. I'm sure you remember him. He's the one you loved before you decided to sleep with my husband." The look on her face was priceless. Ron, trying to remain composed, greeted her. "It's been a long time. Karen, I just came here to celebrate your happiness." But Karen wasn't having it. She erupted, shouting about how I was ruining everything. The room was electric with tension, as guests whispered and exchanged confused glances. I kept my cool. "Well, Karen, you invited me to your wedding, so I thought I'd return the favor," I said, smiling sweetly. "I'm just here to celebrate your special day." And I brought Ron with me as my guest. At that point, Jerry rushed down the aisle, trying to calm Karen down, but she pushed him aside. She was beyond reason. In a fit of rage, she hurled her bouquet across the room, a symbol of the life she thought she would have. Without another word, she stormed out of the venue, leaving everyone in stunned silence. I didn't feel guilty. I had done what I needed to do to show Karen what it felt like to be humiliated, just as she had humiliated me. I left the venue with my head held high. The weight of betrayal lifted, and the power in my hands. In the aftermath, I heard that Karen and Jerry had broken up. She couldn't go through with the wedding. Maybe seeing Ron again had brought up too many old feelings. Or maybe it was the shock of seeing me, strong and unbowed, that made her realize the consequences of her actions. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. What matters now is that I'm reclaiming my life. My mom has been supportive, even if my stepdad disagrees with my actions. I'm focusing on myself, taking care of my emotional well-being, and rediscovering my passions. I don't regret what I did. Sometimes people need to learn the hard way. And if that's what it took for Karen to understand the depth of her betrayal, then so be it.